you end up in a group of people where three people they have the same opinion, and the fourth person will say what they actually want to because the three other opinions that differ. I never want that.
Connect your talent to just something I'm trying to understand. I know adding up here. And do you know some girls will fall for this? Some people go stress their husband and their boyfriend and their sugar daddy. See the nobody sugar daddy and sugar got that to the one.
The council, right?
Because someone who know about cars, you know that I'm taking care of it.
That's what they say.
So no go to buy it. No go for buy it. What I see
because I refuse to say yes. So I remember after the mechanic, it was you married? Yeah, she was very victims. I remember the interrogations after, I remember finding where the man could be interrogated. I wanted to be steering the basic direction of the investigation. I had taken my no one would say no to that, so I did. But I had to want that they were favorable to me, even though he is, and he was entitled to be allowed to do this whole thing. I'm going to get money to my house, because I realized that victim was still in the investigation. It was crazy. And then after that, I was just the deputizing of everybody. Who's a random deputizing and I come into work and see a random person going to the library buying stuff, and it turns out it was a member of the community. Like, it just realized it just became a joke. Like, his power was so unchecked that he just
Yeah, that's my biggest fear is some people may say that I feel the situation's likely. And maybe that's true, but it's because I never want to give anyone the opportunity to claim they were never given an opportunity to improve, right? I've said this a million times. My mindset is something was so egregious that no one should have ever accepted that to be okay, and you are removed off RIP, like committing crimes, or you are informed of your shitty behavior, you are informed on what to improve on, and if you keep showing a habit of that repeated behavior, you're gone. At that point, you can't claim. You've lost any right to claim you didn't know. The Chronicle's around, by the way. I feel like I'm
think that's a new thing from that today, I think.
Yeah, it is being released a day early. Hey, Bean.
Oh, read it. Really quick, Matt. I have been talking to Faye, and she was wondering, would it be too much of an ask for dispatch to have the ability to
excited by this singular one.
Is that not a category? Yes, dispatch. Rohan, Martha. Yep. No, they do, because Rohan.
was she said, and she said something. She'll know. Maybe that's what it is. So that way we're having a transparent process. Our Green Party is a coalition principle at work. Would that be immense sacrifices, compromises, guided by our determination to rescue our country's democracy, which is facing its greatest
I'm getting a return phone call.
since the return of democracy
1 moment.
in 1999.
Hey Vince, how are you? Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. I understand there's a lot going on in the mayor's cabinet. Just wanted to know if Vinny's been around today.
Leadership crisis.
I don't think so, and
Then opposition figures continue to be harassed and intimidated,
Vince, are you okay?
yeah,
including putting up in detention, such as Malam Nasser El-Rufai.
You resigned from the cabinet.
oh yeah,
Vince, what happened?
Including as a minister and a lieutenant governor of Kaduna State.
Oh
He
my
has
god.
been in detention
I mean, are you willing to discuss what happened?
despite court orders granting him bail.
maybe in another
He has been denied the right to celebrate.
Yeah, I don't mean in the Richard reporting the conversation capacity.
In addition to being denied the opportunity to be by his mother's side and she
Honestly, everything. Listen, I know you said, like a rat off a sinking ship, but this is like not just a train wreck, but a train wreck of a load that was like, a chemical, disaster.
yeah, I get the situation that I had
security agencies explained that the agencies which were set up
Oh,
by previous government to fight corruption.
where the money came from.
And that this government, once a person joins
fair enough. Well, listen, I'm at Mission Road if you'd like to swing by.
by these agencies,
It'll be, all right,
the
perfect.
charges
We'll see you
against
soon.
them
All right,
magically disappear.
Okay, sort of an off-the-record conversation with someone who jumped ship. I hope he's candid. No. Listen, I'm content with hearing that he,
I will continue to undermine it, even trying to
yeah, for real. Arjun, is that you? Arjun, I trust most penumbra drivers to be able to do that spin out without piling into a group. I fear you may not be one of them. No, I understand it didn't happen. I'm just thinking the potential risk. I appreciate you, though. All right. Hey, Jenny.
I know that, like me,
Oh,
we are deeply concerned about the rapid descent of our country into economic disaster, catastrophic insecurity,
me too, as current chief of police. That's true.
great intolerance, and the drive towards a democratic state by the current government.
My goodness.
I thank you.
What do you think? What do you think would have changed if Dan had been made chief of police yesterday and the injunction hadn't been responded to? What do you think he would have done day one aside from fire pit?
I must say that this juncture, this is
No,
not
he told me because he walked past and I was like, then heads up would have been nice. He's like, bro, do you know I fuck with you? And I was like, yeah. And that's when Peter said, if it had been me, I would have stabbed you from the front. What do you think he would have done? Other than fire pit, because that's a guarantee. What was it, personal? Right. Actually, that's a question I can ask the treasurer, is whether or not they requested money. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's like blind cult following. Hey.
You knew exactly what would have happened. I was going to use the fact that I didn't live this
But not the strip in which Fred lost control, made a whole separate department. That's definitely a little different. Definitely a little different. I don't know. Maybe you're right.
What do you think their CD was?
Wait, hold on. It's they're self-funded.
Yeah.
Except they're requesting $2 million a week.
Yep.
I don't know how that implies self-funded. Yeah. That was their ad.
That's what they're running the rest. 2 million a week for the sponsor rest. Did you want the
No. Bean already did the math on it, and it was, I think they like their billing specifically, not taking into account specific onboarding stuff, was 700 something grand. Arjun, I hope they're in a shitty car and you can't pursue.
We're going to be in the
I think HR is dedicated to the marketing team. That's a good money.
Curious, they were making a big deal about all of us and then there's a groupie around their video.
All right. I'm headed to my office, and I'm going to be anticipating that conversation with Vince.
If there
Yes, but understand that out of an abundance of caution, I'm not actually making any decisions because I'm not getting HIPAA violation of the. Yes. Because I don't want to touch anything because here's the thing. PC is 51%. That's what you need to make an arrest. At that point, I can immediately be fired once I'm arrested. Until the conclusion of an appeal. I just don't want to get there. Yes, pretty much. Not a problem. I still haven't seen the house, by the way. That upsets me. But it's my fault. It's my scheduling. My scheduling! Have a good one. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, sure. You can tag along. Let me, Hey, just as if we are at Mission Row, also please don't bring any weapons. We will have Chris. What is it? A knife?
Tout le monde a un avis sur votre épargne. Faites-vous le vôtre avec BNP Paribas. Avec l'accompagnement de nos experts, construisez une stratégie d'épargne adaptée à vos objectifs. BNP Paribas, la banque d'un monde qui change.
That's what we find.
Well, he's
Look at that.
no. We could-
It's a nice bike, bro. Nice bike.
Come on, man.
That is a nice bike.
Vince, I'm sorry. I'm happy for this new chapter in your life, brother. I was gonna say something, but I feel as though if I don't explain it first, it's gonna sound bad. I was gonna say I didn't realize rats were good swimmers, but I said that because you said like a rat opposite you.
Hey,
I'm not calling you a rat. I'm just, repurposing what you said.
I'm calling myself a rat. I agree. But
What the fuck happened, man? What happened? Spill the tea. Leave nothing out, okay? I want the tea. I want all of it.
I'm gonna be honest, I was very
Why?
I'm just the numbers guy, number one.
But the numbers guy gets brought into. Hold on.
Yeah. So yes, I've been in like same thing.
Oh my gosh, wait. Am I colorblind or do marshals have different looks now? It's purple. Yes, look at Wayne.
I think
Brian,
yeah.
Brian is called like Pyrex.
Okay, sorry. I was just so confused. Okay, so listen, I know you're the numbers guy, right? But let's not pretend like you don't have teeth. And when I say this conversation didn't happen, I mean this conversation doesn't leave any of us.
This TI now, the why I decided to be I'm a number guy. The numbers seem like they're adding up to it. And when things start getting like that,
Was that just on the basis of not trusting Finley?
I'm not going to be associated with anything I think might be happening. Very quickly, like I said, like a rap team, the thinking consistently myself is mental.
So, I have a question for you. Why was the mayor's cabinet and the mayor so close with ODP? Like, how did that happen?
To be frank with you, I wouldn't say they were solid. I would say I'm almost heard the rap. Then he's pulling me over and saying he was going to fuck around and have to pull me over, but it's neither here nor
because based upon what was explained to me, ODPD had a relatively large say in a lot of what was going on, or at least a lot of influence, which is crazy because I'm not sure if this was ever communicated to you.
I think the second part is actually yeah, I think maybe influence, but not effect.
Well, I mean, one heavily implies the other, but either way, for me, I think a lot of my point of contention is it sounds as though Finley was very willing to speak with ODPD and very unwilling to speak with LSPD. I think every conversation I have had been prompted by me or Debbie, who scheduled our first meeting. And in that first meeting, I don't know if you were provided the context, but context was, it was a general sort of introduction. It was a couple hours, so it was fairly long. But I started the conversation with, hey, just a heads up, I don't exactly know who you are. I didn't say I don't know your campaign, but that was kind of implied in the I don't really know you. And the only context I've been provided in the last 48 hours is that a member of your cabinet, I don't know if this is true, but stated that the LSPD was being foundational. That was mentioned pretty much day one. Maybe it was the day after she was brought in. And then that progressed into a conversation of complaints from clerks, county clerks, and how there isn't a level of seriousness for when they, as government employees, are kidnapped.
I think that's what it's I was thinking after and Dan was making comments about so you were asking if I want to prove it. Yeah, and you both done the people pretty bad. And this is after you recorded, but you think you don't know that is the perspective.
I mean, I don't know if he had proof. I think Davenport may have brought this situation up, and I'll make sure it's addressed. But here's the thing. So here's the thing. I asked him after she explained things to me, what are actionable things that you would like to be done? And she avoided the question, and I was like, actionable things. What do you want done for these individuals to be made to feel better? And I'm not talking about like the sly comments, because the implication was not just the comments, it was heavily sort of implied like they should essentially be treated as like an on-duty police officer. And there should be a level of aggression associated with it. And so I brought up like, hey, oftentimes when we're dealing with individuals, like we can't just, we're not going to bring, that's the reality. Like if that's the request, the answer is no, because we're doing nothing but implementing way more risk. However, what we can do is get aggressive in the pursuit immediately, but how are you going to be made to feel better if you don't see that? So like, again, what do you want to see and is actionable? I can't make you feel better. Tell me how you would be made to feel better. Like, again, actionable things. She said, I will speak with the people who brought up these concerns, and specify with the clerks, and I'll get back to you. She never did. Let me ask you this. Do you know how I started off with ODPD and, you know, you didn't agree that they have say, but they definitely have influence. Would you agree that ODPD had more influence with the mayor than you did? Finley got the version of cred of I will promise you the world because his entire world, aka ODPD, relies on a single piece of legislation like your school. And because I wasn't just a yes man and I will bend the knee because you are the mayor. And by the way, I don't know if Finley ever brought this up with the cabinet. In that meeting that I had with her in Santana, I pretty much double, triple, quadruple checked if you have any additional questions. And only on the last time that I did, she was like, you know what I actually do? I heard that if we attempted to remove you, it would make it different. And I said, yeah, absolutely. My obligation is to do that. For the purposes of stability in the PD, 100% I will ensure my removal gets that result. So she knew all of what was coming and still decided to follow through. And I didn't say that as a threat. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it was a promise. I just told her exactly what was going to happen. And full disclosure, I told her she surrounded herself with idiots. I wasn't calling you an idiot, to be clear, in case she ever communicates that to you. And I also want this. I want this known. I want this known because regardless of whatever image is painted of me, considering ODPD who dislikes me, because the whole reason ODPD exists is because I wouldn't give Fred a high command position after he got fired for committing a felony. I said I don't actually believe Finley's a bad person. I believe she surrounded herself with idiots, and unfortunately is nothing more than a mouthpiece for the league. I fear, and I told her this, when she told me I was being replaced and then didn't tell me by who, and then gave me a very PR, lawyer-fied statement of I as the mayor, executing my ability to replace you as the chief of police, and there will be no further comment at this time. She needs a PR person. Needed a PR person. Because every single public communication from the mayor has been a single statement, no further comments at this time, walk off. Or what was told to me before she got elected for her campaign, it was going to the community meeting saying, hey, I'm Finley Schmidt, I'm running for mayor, if you'd like to know more, feel free to reach out to me. Followed by not telling anyone what the campaign was. I'm sorry, the fact that Voss was even a consideration is wild. I'm not shit-talking Voss at all. But the fact that there was something that Voss had that I didn't seemingly, or nothing was being communicated to me as like things that could change, is crazy. I don't know. Actually, I have another thing. How much of the cabinet was tainted? Let me rephrase. How much of the cabinet's perspective of me was tainted as a result of Lucy's firing? Well, let me tell you, in my first conversation with Finley, she asked whether or not we would rehire Lucy, which I could tell her no. And like, the vibe was off after that. Yeah, Lucy is caught up on the fact that she was fired, and she specifically asked me, do you think PPO is a replacement? And I said yes, quite frankly, because first P and PPO is probationary. You are not guaranteed a job. And the day or yesterday, in the meeting while we're waiting, Lucy goes, oh, maybe we'll take it. And I'm like, no, everyone's agreed. Ironic, right? You know Lucy's running today?
That was 2026. There was a fighting case when young man made that as well as trying to find Mary and find her. Police supposed to find, but he's supposed to carry as well as being another.
She doesn't have any attorney?
So she was no attorney.
Now, they made the fundamental error in the process they find. When they find an application seeking to amend their originating songs, and then on the procedure with the adopting, which is completely wrong before the court, because the law does not permit the joining of parties by an application for amendment. They will provide for how parties can be joined. So, the granting process was challenged by the parties as the court does not have the jurisdiction to
They really didn't fuck with you then, did they?
by the competent creative.
Did they even tell you about the therapy
Proceeding
session?
of 24th March 2026, Honorable Justice Levy proceeded with
Oh,
the hearing
what was the
of the
sentiment of the
application
therapy
for
session
amendment.
where Fred
The Creative Council withdrew the prayer seeking to deem the competent
well, Fred screamed at the top of his lungs to the therapist, essentially saying that she's crazy if she thinks that any amount of education or reading books would allow her to understand his mind, and he's a god. And that's not even a paraphrase, it's probably an exact fucking quote.
Despite the fact that there
And
was
because
the
she
court
wants
for deeming other people before him. So the court even went this step further, took into consideration external factors and facts known before him.
And also, the mayor originally texted me pretty much saying it's a very important meeting, only to then find out it was a
Wait, was it for him?
I did not.
I told one of those facts.
What you would do?
So, you looked at numbers, saw that things were wonky, and then
Well, I didn't see everything I
I want to be very clear. This is not me building a case.
because I've been seeing the bank account all over Jackson. Apparently, there's some shit that APR does.
Just like that.
And he has
Across Nigeria, over 8,000 different locations. And expected that it will be 100% accepted by those who are everything is very
Well, I mean, you are the finance guy. Are you aware of? Well, I know, but are you aware of what happened with Crystal and things? Oh, Crystal, you want to explain?
Before writing the contract, they must commend the efforts of those who start the election together. And as a matter of fact, it was my friend
Yesterday I was looking through some of
Mark, for the 700K?
Yep, you did. There was an edit.
think she's deceived.
To try to get more money to pay.
So like mid 800s, I believe.
It's about 8,000 that was like before I, a few days after I never said and I'm telling you, that's how I feel about payment, but then Nikki ended up bringing it up during the football meeting, and I had to do it, like I didn't know, and I had to say, like, I was going to pay you for that, they called me.
No, don't apologize. Don't apologize. The reason it needed to be addressed was because their justification for the reductions, which by the way, Vince, you were present for. I'm not kidding. Had Santana not have said the whole, you spend all your time on duty, we shouldn't have to subsidize your whole life, blah, 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 you chose to make this your life. Had he not have said that, there would have been no issue. None.
Richard asked me on the recording at a different time if I agree with that.
To me, it's insane. I heard half of the report.
The reason we were given is that we've got those competencies that they know, by the way, that everybody knows that all of us are entirely the mayor then refused to let separate pay for the event before she became the mayor. That's crazy, but then they're cutting our budget because they know we're sitting on too much money, and that we need to cut it.
Which is not invalid, to be clear. Not invalid. I took issue with his stance and justification as to why. Frankly, if the mayor's office gave us $0, we have sufficient funds to cover our expenses until the next mayorship. Which, frankly, might have only been a month. Who knows?
Actually, I believe if the state of California, you guys should just declare what you want. That there should have been no effect at all to any of the government.
Did you advise them on that, and they still decided to change you? You're the treasurer!
Yes, but I can now make policy decisions. You can be more of a glorified accountant, okay? I actually don't have tax rights. You didn't obviously I'm not going to tell the story, but I didn't have access to the bank account or anything. All I did was get points. I was a glorified accountant. All I did was get some numbers together, you know. Everybody here knows, I'm pretty sure that state account is really hard to get your hands on, you know. So I gave them a pretty clean reading of state account. All of it.
What was the last data count balance you saw?
The one Angel posted?
Wait, when? When was that?
No idea.
But was it, like, recent?
A couple weeks ago.
Oh. I mean, do we know where it's at now?
I can't see the totals, even in like the bank records, even the FOIA. I mean, I think kind of like that's
What's the mayor account?
the last 6 months?
Yeah.
It's 10.
Because I also think I saved, oh yeah, right here. 300 and, oh no, this is DOJ, Los Santos, 338 million, and that was May 6th. I just texted Danielson. Curious to know what it's at now. I mean, has the mayor's office even provided much, like, grants or anything since Finley's been in office?
Not very many. There has been a few, if I venture to say. The state account is looking much better than it did. I mean, it's no secret that since I'm sending back a lot more money than we normally would have in the last month. So that kind of skewed things a little bit. So I think the correction that they did.
I wish you can not get laptop for us. I don't know where they keep our laptop. I will be fine.
saw it.
Who's in the back? Like, yeah, apologize. I should have been listening. That's one ended up looking at they don't know anything about the event. Their business is ground. If other people, such as like all the, we put a bunch of other names under the bus and saying they did it worse than we did.
That's not justification.
Exactly. It's like, I know we did something wrong, but other people did it worse than us.
347 million. 347, and the 6th, it was, let's say 338.
Yeah, I believe in April, in Denzel Australia, the account was losing $63 million. It was net negative.
Yeah, but is that just looking at like just a 30-day without taking into account like?
Yes, the net I don't know if I looked at the entire net 9 days. I know that $200 million of the account, just over that in Denzel's account. So that $80 million, or $88 million, I believe it was net negative for the person. I'd have to.
So what other tea you got, Vince? Come on, spill. I know you're leaving stuff out.
You have to ask a question.
What do you mean I have to ask you a question?
I don't know. I'm not like that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Boz is one of them. Oh, I know. Alright, this is not running this room, right?
Definitely.
Of course. Everybody thinks it's all this? Alright. Gregory Jones.
Interesting. Voss, who's aligned with ODPD, Johnson, who transferred to ODPD, Den, who's in ODPD.
And I'm not gonna lie, I think that was about the.
Oh, Voss just called me.
Yep. What's just a black people?
Currently in a meeting. I do apologize. I mean, is it urgent?
No, it's more about this rejection of information. We can hire people, or there's a freeze for anything.
Normal day-to-day hiring, sure, but we're not doing anything like. If things were already in place, yes, but we're not doing anything beyond that as of right now. Just to ensure that, not in violation of a court order.
Yeah, it's what about the game.
No, definitely not.
I'm already one for
Boss, you'll be okay. You'll be okay.
I see the movies there. Like, you can tell her, I don't know, about it. You can tell her, I can speak to her about it. It's hiring.
Well, I mean, if it's a new hire, again, we're going to hold off for now, just because, again, we don't want anything to be even viewed as being in violation of a court order. I know it's worded as like excessive, but I don't want anyone to try to frame anything, and I'm doing that out of an abundance of caution.
Well, that is what calling you.
Yeah, but the whole PD is like as a whole needs to be in compliance with it.
No. I understand that part. What up is like I feel that you have the information of that. That's why I'm calling you.
So what position?
Tout le monde a un avis sur votre épargne. Faites-vous le vôtre avec BNP Paribas. Avec l'accompagnement de nos experts, construisez une stratégie d'épargne adaptée à vos objectifs. BNP Paribas, la banque d'un monde qui change.
You can't say yes, that was a one or the other, boss.
Okay, I'm gonna say what I mean. I'm sorry. Okay, for no reason. The thing is, someone come back who was inactive, okay, and he
Okay.
come back, and he wants to be rehired. Okay, he's not hired right now. He wants to be rehired.
Okay, who is it?
Tanto Forte, ex
Forte.
ex senior, ex FTO. 100% Vivi Gray knows the guy. That's why I was trying to look for him.
I'm not opposed. Tell you what, I'll reach out to the DOJ regarding clarity. Yeah, I'll reach out to the DOJ and I will communicate that to the others. Because that would be a normal day-to-day thing. Is he around right now?
I have no idea. He was sleeping at the front yesterday.
He was sleeping at the front? Okay.
He's
All right, well,
sleeping at the tent.
I'm in a meeting. I'll try to get this resolved, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Apparently Forte's back. He's been sleeping out front.
Right.
Poor guy. Okay, so you brought up Johnson. The Johnson boss, then. Did the mayor, since the mayor never provided me this information, did the mayor ever indicate why she wanted me replaced?
I think it was a culmination of a lot of factors. I don't think it was
How could there be that many factors and she never fucking spoke to me?
well, I mean, she had got fed in her ear.
I mean, my last text to her was, "Hey, Finley, reaching back out again about those elusive, actionable things that we were meant to discuss yesterday. They still haven't been communicated to me. Please reach out ASAP so we can finally have that discussion."
Chris doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, like I said, I totally agree with the whole this is a PR disaster. She should have had somebody who wasn't getting stricken by Justice Blackfeet talking for her.
I mean, that wasn't exactly. I mean, let's be frank, that wasn't exactly Hubert either.
Yeah, everybody, as far as I know, only me, Dave Swan, and Angela Hahn have left the house.
Hello?
I'm just thinking.
Hey, Rose.
What's that?
He was the one who signed
I have a question.
right?
Would you,
I don't know where. I don't know.
would you think it would be a good idea for a promotion on the docket to allow the SPD to change?
No, I think that was another factor.
Below the command level,
I think that was another factor.
to keep it a fair freeze across the whole of the LSPD.
In my opinion, the interface.
It's not worded as we can't do anything.
I think
What is this in reference to?
No, it does say that, but then at the end it says like across the
I
whole
don't
of
think
the
it's
When it comes to the mayor and the PD, it's the mayor who needs
I mean, who's it affecting at the moment,
PD.
if anything?
Because only the mayor
but then like
has
other
that
hires
authority to
things
make
like that,
specific changes,
promotions
right?
from PPO to architects PPO.
And it kind of felt like,
Just depending on like how long this
very
is
much
done.
felt like she wanted nothing to do with us.
I tell you what, if there's no progress by tomorrow, I will reach out. Actually, tomorrow nothing's gonna happen.
Event guy, I get having a law
we'll say
guy,
Monday.
all that.
Yeah,
guy.
that works for me.
Talking to another guy
At that point, I'll reach out and get further
probably
clarity.
be the mayor themselves.
Alright,
If
perfect.
I had
Not a
to
problem.
venture a guess, I think Keaton kitchen got real hot and she didn't want to be in there.
Ben says she has the head chef, so she's gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, like,
Trust me,
she
I know.
shouldn't be standing, like, she shouldn't be standing, like, I don't know, one of her cabinets talk to, like, the Chief Justice, or the Cyber Director, or the Director of the Marshals. It should be the mayor, so it's the
Or-
head of a faction talking to a head of a
The
faction.
chief of police.
Like, yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
It just, yeah.
She essentially just kept positioning herself to be like present because most times that she was here, it was mostly Santana speaking. In fact, every time Santana was present, he was the one speaking, even when you were there.
That was a mistake, yeah.
Actually, in part of the meeting where the big wedding got brought up, I think she found out the meaning of it and came back to get things right.
That's a reoccurring theme because that's exactly what happened. She went up after the injunction, announced Den as the chief of police, despite acknowledging the injunction, and then walked out of the room.
In the initial conversation we had here at 10, we said I'm not the one making the policy. I'm not the one. I didn't even know half the things that were going to be convenient.
So the numbers then.
Yeah, I was literally there just getting those boys.
I got a question. I got a good one. Who in the cabinet hated me the most aside from Finley?
Well, I mean, I think you know the answer to that.
Everyone's replaceable.
Take a while. Yeah, take a while to guess. Take a while to guess.
I don't know. Probably.
She probably has a swollen cloaca though.
It's definitely
Yeah,
Lucy.
I'm like, I could, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was Lucy.
Yeah, what can you do? You know, what can you do?
Oh, you know what? I need to put up my daily twat. All right, my daily twat is out.
See, if I were to make some suggestions about how they should have gone about this whole thing, I'd think to sit down for mediation. Do this whole constitutional thing, and maybe have a lawyer. I mean, not a judge here who could maybe him between us, between the mayor's cabinet and the chief of police if she was looking for removal. I think the way she went about it.
Yeah. You know what I'm probably gonna do? Probably gonna wait for her to get impeached.
And then run for mayor?
No, and then just quit.
Oh. And then run for mayor?
No, hell no.
How did did any of you know that she came here by herself to say that she wanted to go off a clean slate with us? Literally a week ago.
Yeah, it's recorded.
We were not even informed that he was going to be removed the day she did it. At least I personally wasn't, and I know Sage and Angela also were not. We were actually communicated, the last communication was that it was not going to happen that day. So we were told the exact opposite.
You know, I'm glad.
Sounds like there's an
I'm
inner
glad
and
we've-
outer fear, to be honest, right?
Yeah.
It's an inner and
And you
outer.
know, some people show up in spheres 5 times, others
Yeah.
none at all.
I think I'm a minor influencer.
Oh, no, you were
Speaking of which, how close was the cabinet to Frodo?
I have never seen or spoken to that man in my life. I don't even know what he looks like. I mean, I've heard his name, never seen him, never spoken to him. I know there was some stuff in that document.
Yeah. He was guilty of all of it. Every bit of it.
Seems like a maniac.
Yeah, well.
All them spheres.
You know, I think we can all collectively agree that that may be the case, but I also fear that had this not have happened, I think that's most of the questions I have. Viv, Crystal, do any of y'all have additional questions? Will you be, if Finley gets replaced, will you be trying to be a part of another cabinet?
I mean, maybe we'll see. You know, I might have to. Yeah, I might have to vet some people a lot closer before. Yeah.
Might I suggest?
Employer, right?
Might I suggest, you know, like period in which you say call that person, see if they pick up and are willing to meet and talk, and then specifically have them campaign publicly to see how they do in a public setting and don't panic and then not want to do an announcement. Or tell the PD, if you want to know more about my campaign, reach out to me. But like, there was no more. There was nothing.
Yeah. Maybe should be someone that you come and talk to your campaign about.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna be real.
Find yourself in that position. Make sure you let them know.
Let's be frank. The reason she wanted to replace me was because I wasn't a yes man, and the reason I wasn't a yes man is because I don't believe she has the authority to remove me, and I don't have to be. Instead of trying to work with me and come to some common ground, instead just pretending I don't exist, I don't know if there could have been a worse decision. It's so silly. It's so dumb.
So this is always going to happen despite who the mayor was, by the way. It was always going to be fought if there was an attempt made, because no one has ever done this before, and we feel like it needs to be clarified in legislation.
Yeah, and if anyone thinks
whether it's correct or not,
I'm suddenly doing this because I want to retain this position, I never wanted this position to begin with. I'm fairly certain maybe I didn't communicate that differently. But let me read you text messages from the prior chief of police, Wyatt Turner, from before Pred, 9 months ago. Hey Turner, it's Rhodes. I meant to text you earlier but forgot how I was going to word it, and then it slipped my mind. Fairly certain the angle of attack is both the writing of the Constitution in addition to impeachments and authority conduct review legislation. The Constitution states that they can appoint, and ultimately, if they wish to have someone fired, they follow the impeachment and ACR legislation, which allows someone to be removed. And this applies to all law enforcement officers and government employees. TLDR, they're responsible for appointing. Their legal means of removal would be an impeachment. And then I said, holy fuck, I just realized you may not know what TLDR means. It stands for too long didn't read, and it's tended to be like a long story short, except now this is longer than the long story unshort because I had to explain it.
Is he real old? He's real old.
He is old.
his son is pretty old.
Gotcha.
To which he responded, I'm still looking into the details, appreciate the help, Rhodes. This had been 9 months in the making. This was never a targeted thing. I'm doing this for the benefit of all of our police departments, because obviously if it applies to Los Santos County, it applies to Blaine County, regarding whether or not the mayor has the authority. Having been in the Blaine County, where on a whim, your sheriff just changed, or, you know, someone is told, I will make you the sheriff, but you have to do X, Y, and Z, and are essentially controlling the inner workings of the police department despite having no fucking knowledge of the police department, is easily one of the dumbest fucking things that someone can do. And I fear that's exactly what was going to happen under Finley had Boss, Den, Johnson, or anyone else you wanted to choose been chosen.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Did she ever have directive for any of them?
Not in the conversations that I was in.
Were you privy to any follow-up conversations where those discussions weren't discussed?
No.
Fitz, there's no way you're the numbers guy and you're just uninvolved in everything.
No, I mean, I was there a few times. Like, Den came for a meeting, and they asked him, honestly, a bunch of stupid questions. And I don't remember them, but they were a bunch of stupid questions. And they said that he was going to be the chief of police. That was supposed to be his interview.
Was there any reference to him firing people?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did he make any mention of firing people?
They did ask him specifically what his stance on the removal of the chief of police was. I remember that.
What did he say?
He said, yeah, I believe you can remove me at any time.
Why does anyone want this? Oh my god! I'm gonna...
Because
The thing is, a lot of people have been those sorts of people who will just go along with what a mayor says no matter what. And if a mayor says, hey, I want this person hired or fired, they'll do it no matter what. Pred was one of those. Like,
Well, Pred was one of those for Rozelle because Rozelle was feeding him money.
right, but that's the point. They rely on each other at that point. They don't like somebody who will put their foot down, when in actual fact, that's what you want running a fucking police department. They don't understand the inner way.
yes man in this.
They get
Yes.
power by giving something to the yes man, and the yes man giving them whatever they want in return. Denzel is one of them, so Denzel's going to be fine with that. So you just think, as long as I keep the mayor happy, I have a job. When we're all supposed to hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
So even the chief of police should be holding a mayor accountable, and vice versa. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, my prediction for this whole thing is we might not even get stuff.
I hope it does go ahead, though. I hope it does go ahead for the figuring out whether you can just remove someone, though. I don't think that should just not happen, now that it's put up there.
She has no counsel.
Well,
And whose fault is that?
Hey, I'm just saying. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to a summary judgment against her.
I told this to other people. I can't feel bad for her when she has intentionally surrounded herself with people trying to sabotage her. I can't. Because right now, I told the public, right, straight up, I believe she's a puppet. And frankly, I don't exactly know who the puppet master is. But because the puppet master isn't allowing her to feel bad for her actions, I can't feel bad for her.
She came in with that energy. She came in trying to basically dismantle the LSPD. I just think people aren't prepared for people to stand up back to them. Which makes no fucking sense when you go into politics, but there we go.
I mean, to some degree it makes sense, but ultimately, when you know I have nothing to lose, because I didn't want the position to begin with, and I'm doing this out of necessity because I felt it would be best for the LSPD. Choosing that person to make this argument for, the lights just went out.
What the fuck?
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know. It was a weird, strange hill to die on. Strange hill to die on. Also, I'm going to reiterate this. That Hubert guy's a fucking moron. I don't know why the fuck he ended up being the spokesperson for the mayor.
Over and over, putting a worse foot forward. I've said it over time and time again. I don't know why. I can't explain some of the decisions that were taken. I don't think anybody can. Yeah. At least in a way that would make sense to anybody here, including myself.
All right. Well, I have to get going. It was a pleasure speaking to you. I do appreciate the honesty. If anything comes up as like a topic, again, this conversation never happened. Viv, Crystal, bring this up with nobody.
Yeah.
If you hear any insider knowledge or tea, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Oh, I think that's all. I think the tea faucet is probably turned off for me. Once I click the cabinet.
I mean, really though, you think that the people who were working alongside are suddenly just gonna like not speak with each other?
Except for the three or the other two who left with me, I can't make any judgments really. Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all have a wonderful day. I'm just trying to call Lucy to her daily reminder.
Appreciate it.
Oh.
Except, I guess the conversation would be more in line with everyone's replaceable if you can find a replacement. Actually, that would be unprofessional, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Wait, who's letting Vince out?
Inappropriate behavior. Yeah. That's
okay.
horrible.
Crystal, here's his knife.
And that's a violation of my right to dignity.
Don't worry, Mr. Rose.
What do you mean that's a violation of your right to dignity?
Yeah.
Being disrespectful.
Okay, you chose that cabinet, pal. That's the ship you.
Damn it.
You bitch! You thought it was the Titanic. It was a little rowboat.
Yeah, I would wait for her to be like present or say anything before. Don't go and call her and say anything about it.
Wait, don't call who?
Lucy. Will you call it Lucy to tell her that she's replaceable?
She told me everyone's replaceable.
Okay.
So yes, I'm gonna call her and remind her that everyone's replaceable and they got a few vacancies. They should appoint.
You might get but it might be construed as harassment at that point. Like if you bump into each other, then it makes sense. But like calling her for it, no.
Okay, fine. You're right. Hello.
I'm gonna be Debbie. Okay, I'm Debbie right now.
Nora, I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. Just calling to let you know we'll have a few copies of the new edition of the paper at MRPD.
Where at MRPD?
Frank, was it the door and the...
A side door?
Paper?
Yes.
The paper has arrived. Viv. Also, so I am going to be leaving, though I would love to have a conversation with the Chronicle sometime this week regarding everything that occurred in the past 24 hours, because, Nora, it was messy.
Oh, I know. It's a 48-page newspaper. I know.
It's a 48-page newspaper?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Hey, Moss. Doing good. Nora, will you guys be sort of freely available throughout the week?
Yes.
Perfect.
Call whenever and we can make it happen.
Awesome. Sounds good. Will do. Thank you very much, Nora. I appreciate the heads up.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye. How are you doing, Moss?
Oh, fine. Just waiting for key.
I do need to. I'm okay. Have you been brought up to speed regarding everything and me?
I think so.
Am I missing something? Hold on. The injunction isn't going to clarify. Wait, is the injunction going to clarify anything?
What do you mean?
Or is it for the sole purpose of the pod? Do we need a separate thing to get the DOJ to look at whether or not they can? I'm confused.
No, there was the injunction and then the yeah. So there is currently the thing that's gone up for the whatchamacallit. See whether she was acting outside of her authority. That will clarify it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Let me take a look here. 49, 42.
The ink seems to have fallen off of my newspaper.
What?
Oh God, the ink has fallen off of my newspaper.
Oh, not mine. Oh, LSPD and LSMO chaos. Special starts on page 23.
So, I assume that the impeachment
Should cover it.
will establish whether or not she has the authority to remove you just at her discretion, or if she needs to, have cause essentially to do so. Like what steps have to be taken to remove a chief of police, does it require an ACR? Does it require, essentially an impeachment of the chief of police? Or can she just do it, because she's the mayor?
I had a brain fart there. I forgot about the impeachment and it specifically being on the basis of exceeding the mandate of their office.
Yeah. So that should be the clarification.
Okay. All right.
That should involve that.
I just sat there for a moment. I was like, the injunction is just to pause everything. But what's the actual
Then
okay, we're good. I thought this through beforehand, I swear.
It's a lot of moving parts,
Yeah, but did you hear the TT?
What's the TT?
After the injunction, she still went up there acknowledged the injunction, said that this happened before the injunction, and announced, "Hi, goodbye," and announced Dan as chief of police, and that was in violation of a court order, which is a felony, which means she's not going to be the mayor.
Wasn't this one who found the part? Maybe she just genuinely didn't understand what an injunction is. That injunctions stop whatever is currently going on. It's not like, oh, I did something before the injunction. That's the whole point of an injunction. Why would you need an injunction if something hadn't already happened?
I'm not gonna lie, I had this so well thought out, only for me not to be able to. I couldn't use Barrett. Can't say why. Opal went on leave. Who was the person who was going to post everything. Then I was like, who the fuck else should I go to? It was going to be you and Gravy. I was able to get a hold of Gravy first. And literally, he was in the meeting. The moment it happened, they said, come here, and he had it up. Wait, yeah, well, hold on. What were you shocked about? What happened?
You know how those claims that LSPD shot the mayor?
Uh-huh.
Go to page 4 and 5. You can see where the bullet came from. LSPD shot the mayor? When she was held hostage in the prison, she was kidnapped and taken to the prison while Buskies were running it. Buskies were holding her hostage, and PD had to...
Hey, Lucy.
There were claims by the cabinet
Hey, how are you?
that she was shot to the chest.
I'm alright, how are you?
Was talking about it.
I'm good.
The mayor as they breached.
I just wanted to
However, it looks like the news crew.
Are you good? Do you need someone to talk to, Lucy? No, I wouldn't do something as unprofessional as schedule a therapy session unprompted, like the mayor did with me. Wait, you didn't know that the mayor scheduled a therapy session between Fred and I?
No.
And told me it was an important meeting?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess communication is a bit of a problem in the cabinet. Speaking of which, I heard the cabinet's getting a little empty. What's going on? Do you need a new job? We need receptionists.
I heard the same thing as well.
Well, Lucy, it's a good thing that everyone's replaceable. I'm sure replacing those people will be an easy task.
You know what's real interesting is I tried to quit like a week ago, and the people who quit told me not to.
They quit.
And then they quit.
Lucy, for what it's worth, listen, I understand you felt slighted by the PD stuff, and rightfully so. I'm not going to attribute you being fired to your behavior specifically. Unfortunately, you kind of got shafted by Frodo. I don't know why you didn't join ODPD, if I'm being frank, like the other cadet did. But I have to ask, Lucy. I have to ask. How much did you contribute to LSPD bad since you were fired? And I want to be clear, this isn't me asking like an on-the-record thing. I'm genuinely curious. We all know what the outcome of all this mayor stuff's going to be. There isn't going to be a cabinet unless it's going to be under a different mayor, given everything that's going on. So, like, I don't know if you realistically have anything to lose, but genuinely I'm curious. Because there should have been no reason the mayor made 0 attempts to ever speak to me, aside from a therapy session. But aside from that, nothing was ever done. And ODPD pretty much got all of the attention because they're a single piece of legislation being repealed away from not existing, and wanted to pretend to be the mayor's best friend. And unfortunately, the mayor wanted to surround herself with yes men and people who wouldn't challenge stuff. And here we are, Lucy. Here we are.
Well, I can say that I had nothing to do with
Girl, why are you lying?
her decision.
Okay, maybe I'll give you that. Maybe I'll give you that. But
I had
Lucy,
nothing to
do you-
with her decision.
Lucy, let's
Yeah.
revisit how it's not exactly your fault that you got fired from the PD because of seeds of doubt sort of sowed by Frodo. What you just said there is essentially the equivalent of what Frodo did to you, except what you did to me.
What do you mean? You think
You're
I'm
telling me
taking
I
seeds?
don't believe you planted seeds of doubt in Finley's mind regarding the LSPD after you got fired? You think I'm going to believe that, Lucy?
Listen, you can believe whatever you want, but no.
Yeah, but look, I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
And I am telling you, no, I didn't.
So you never discussed with the cabinet or the mayor LSPD bad? And I'll tell you the context I have. In my first meeting with her, she asked whether or not I thought you should have been fired and whether or not you'd be rehired. And my answer was, yes, should have been fired. No, don't believe she should be rehired. However, she can be hired in another department. No issue.
I understand that, and I did think about going to ODPD afterwards, but I was helping Finley with her campaign.
Lucy, you dodged the question.
What was the question?
Oh my goodness. Lucy, the seeds of doubt. Why in my first conversation is the mayor bringing your specific situation up if you didn't try planting these seeds of doubt?
Oh, I was brought up. I didn't even know that.
Lucy,
Yes.
are we playing dumb?
No. I just, according to Brian Knight.
Okay, I'm going to say this in the most respectful way I can.
Okay.
I do feel bad for the position that you're in. To be clear, I think someone in a leadership position, like being mayor or chief of police or sheriff, need to be able to sort of stand on their own and make decisions on their own while taking in feedback from all sides and not just surrounding themselves with yes men. And unfortunately, you were there when I told Finley this. I believe that she has surrounded herself with idiots. And that's not to say you yourself are an idiot. I think the collective, which sure you're in, but I don't know how much of a contributing idiot in this collective you were, because I haven't been privy to conversations. I think she took feedback from individuals who didn't know any better, had this, for whatever reason, fuck the LSPD mindset, probably prompted by ODPD if I had to be frank, and just went with it because she was never told no or never had any sort of dissenting opinions and actually took that in as valid feedback. See, I'm not saying this to shit talk you. I'm saying this because...
I will say that that's not accurate.
What do you mean?
That's not accurate, what you're, this conclusion that you're coming to.
That there was no dissenting opinions?
I think Finley had a vision, and, maybe she didn't go about it the way she wanted to. I don't know.
If she had a vision, how is it that I didn't know? Do you want to know the context of my conversation with Finley? My first meeting with her was like 2, maybe 3 hours long. It was a lot of conversation regarding expectations and stuff. And one of her big points of contention, alongside Santana, who was there, was regarding clerks or just government employees in general, outside of law enforcement officers, and how they are treated no differently than any other civilian. And how there essentially should be a sort of increased level of aggression or something to that extent, which I can agree with. But that level of aggression would only happen in like the follow-up pursuit. We're not gonna try to escalate things while a clerk is in harm's way. That's gonna serve no purpose but to piss people off. But her point of contention specifically was, we want to be made to feel better. I can't make you feel better if our action is not going to be something that you can actually see, because you, as the hostage in this scenario, are never going to be able to see the pursuit or what we do in the pursuit. Additionally, sometimes we just don't have the units to do certain things, so we can't accommodate things at certain times, right? I told her what are actionable things that we can do that would make you guys feel better. And she said, I will speak with the clerks and such that brought this up, and I'll get back to you. That conversation never happened. She never reached back out. The only follow-up conversations I had afterwards was the important meeting that was a therapy session between Pred and I. And the only other conversation I had was... nope, the budget one was at Santana and Vince, and... frankly, I don't even know. Maybe there was one. I'm not 100% certain.
Keeping that in mind, do you think that if I had any influence on what her decisions were with removing you, do you think my concerns would be, oh, go tell him to make you feel better about Clark? Do you think that's what I would be pushing? Out of the experience that I've had, do you think that's what I would be pushing her to do?
I don't know if you, frankly, would have done anything after your only sort of stance on me is you're replaceable. Because as a PPO, being probationary, yes. The answer is yes. I know that's a hard answer to hear, but, like, that is the reality. Like, factually, 100% you are replaceable as a PPO. And I know you didn't like that answer.
Well, I understand that. But again, do you think that's me pushing her to do this because of that?
Lucy, let me frame this in the opposing direction and say you not telling her to reach out is worse. Because frankly, my entire problem with Finley has been that she hasn't reached out regarding anything.
Again, I have nothing to do with PD stuff.
But, okay, here's the thing. I would love to speak to Finley. Finley hates to speak to me. And I wish I knew why. I'm a very approachable person. I will not hesitate to engage in conversation with people, even if we have dissenting opinions on stuff. I surround myself with not just yes men, but people who I know will actively challenge things that an idea that I come up with, right? Hell, I'll give you another example. We had a discussion regarding internal punishment regarding something, and between myself, the ASK chief, and 2 captains, we were split 50-50. But when you surround yourself with, again, sort of an echo chamber, everyone's going to be on the same page and just immediately jump to yeah, no, that's the best idea. Absolutely, I 100% agree. You can't do that. I'm not saying that's what you did. I unfortunately think that's mostly what Finley did. Because you'll never make progress. You will only push one narrative.
Well, as a reminder, the cabinet had, 6 people in the cabinet. That's a lot of varying opinions. And
how varied were they, Chrissy? How varied?
At the end of the day, everything was Finley's decision, is what I'm aware of.
Let me ask you this. And you don't have to answer. Again, this is very much so off record, and I am a man of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I am going to do it, or not do. I just don't want. I never want my word to be confused or listen, I don't even lie to criminals, because the moment I do, the value of my statement is just gone, right? So I want to clarify that this does not leave this call. There's no one around me. How long did y'all know about the den stuff or the boss stuff?
I'm gonna be honest. At this point, I want to say everything, but I'm unsure.
Well, Lucy, I understand from my perspective, like, I'm just trying to understand because, let's be frank, the mayor's office at this point is in ruins, right? Are you aware that, oh yeah, you are aware, the cabinet members that left already?
Yes, I just heard.
And considering you said that they were the ones who prevented you from leaving a week ago, let's not pretend that you're going to stay. She no longer has any legal representation, considering Hugh is disbarred and Angela resigned. So, like, I would love to know sort of the inner workings, purely from an informational perspective. Because again, from my perspective right now, Lucy, I firmly believe that the ODPD had heavy influence into a lot of what occurred. Because it's not a coincidence that any time something occurred, instead of calling 311 or 911, it was a direct call to a member from ODPD. And why did they probably extend that courtesy? Because they're a single piece of legislation away from not existing. And as someone who voted for them, I want them to exist. If they feel this is their niche, their forte, I want people to excel at whatever it is they want to fucking do. Unfortunately, I think a lot of, actually most of them are from LSPD, and a lot of them were also involved in the rank restructure after I denied Pred a captain position after he'd gotten fired. A lot of them were bitter. That's not to justify all of their behavior. I think some of them are just complaining or arguing. I'm not 100% certain, but point being, Lucy, I wouldn't approach you with a lot of what I'm saying right here, right now, other than from the perspective of, like, I'm trying to better understand to hopefully ensure this doesn't happen again. Because regardless of whether or not Finley stays the mayor, the ODPD are going to probably do the exact same thing. And I don't have an all-seeing eye. I don't know what the fuck is happening. You probably think they're your best of friends, Lucy. But frankly, they're only doing it because it's to their benefit. You know, Pred sat me down the day Voss was supposed to be made chief of police and said, the mayor hates you and I'm essentially the golden child. And I looked him straight in the face and told him, Pred, that's because you have to be. You are the yes man to the mayor because you feel you have to be. Which is rich coming from Pred because he never does that.
You know, you guys are really obsessed with ODPD.
Lucy?
It's really interesting.
Lucy, are we just pretending that ODPD had no involvement?
Well, that's not what I'm saying, but also, you're kind of acting like a jealous ex-girlfriend right now.
Okay, Lucy,
I'm sad.
I tell you what, I'm going to end the conversation here, primarily because if that's the only thing you've gathered throughout this entire conversation, I fear there is no helping you.
Rose, I understand what you're saying, and trust me, we are well aware that they are going to kiss the cabinet's ass because they don't want to get removed. We are well aware of that. But it's not all about ODPD.
Right. If you say so, Lucy, if you say so.
Yeah, I say so, and I know so. listen,
Can I ask you a question? You say I sound like a jealous ex. Why? What am I jealous of? Let me rephrase. What is there to be jealous of? What do they have that I don't?
Good question. I don't know, maybe it's just like the obsessiveness of it. Like, it's everything. Every time I hear something about a complaint from like the LSPD, it's about ODPD and this and that, and who cares?
Well, hold on. We're not talking about complaint. I'm talking about what here in this conversation prompted you to draw the conclusion that I'm a jealous ex. I will ask again, Lucy. What am I jealous of? What do they have that I do not? You can't say the people because almost all of them I've demoted or fired.
Honestly, you're right. I mean, I don't know. That was just what I was getting, but maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I think you should think into that a little more. I'm not going to lie, the conversation almost came to a screeching halt the moment you said that, primarily because I think you damn near twisted my